Welcome once again second years for your short story, the last short story of your syllabus, Don't Die Hilton, Don't Die. It is nothing sort of a comedy or you don't get any type of the entertainment over here, except one of the thing which can make you more courageous, that is you can imagine it out yourself in a same situation and can maybe you can also do wonders if you can got caught up into such a circumstance or such a situation. This is actually being taken from a blog from internet, that is narrated by Chris Pritchard. T is silent over here. So Chris Pritchard is actually a well-known cyclist. If you put his name, you can get an idea. He was very famous for his cycling, and he has got many of the awards and all. So he narrated this story on the internet. It's written in a blog. It is a real one. So we have to discuss about this one in the particular short story. And now before starting that actual story, let me give you a glimpse of the children, those who have got the bravery, National Bravery Awards on 26th January 2016. There are actually 25 children. Every year we give the bravery awards to the children after they have done something extraordinary in order to save the life of the people or whatever they have done, the brave things. So 25 children, out of that 22 are the boys and 3 are the girls. So, and 2 of them have received posthumously. Posthumously means after their death. They died while saving the lives of the others. So this is actually one of the, you can say, children means under 14 who has not yet completed their 14 years. They were called as the children only. So they are all the 25 children. They didn't bother about their own lives. They risked their lives and they have tried to save the lives of the others. So 2 of them have died, but rest of the 23, they too have risked their lives. They actually didn't know that whether they would be surviving or not. They didn't have an idea whether they would be living or they may die. But just simply they jump into the place or into the circumstance to actually save the lives of the other people. They risk their lives. Risking our own life to save others' life, what does it show? Selflessness. It is the thing which normal human beings lack of. We don't get involved into even if somebody is quarreling on the road, we don't get involved into the quarrel because we think, why should we go? Why should we try to pacify them? It's not ours. It's not we are not involving into ourselves. Why should we go into our own way? We think in that way. Just imagine it out. If suppose you have seen somebody got into an accident and all, and you must have observed that many of the people would be surrounding at the place of accident, but nobody would get ready to help the person who has got injured. There are so many things, like people can try to try to make a phone to the police, make a phone to the ambulance, but they themselves don't carry that injured person. Even though from the High Court, from the Supreme Court, they have given the permission that no person, whoever has brought the injured person to the hospital, would never be asked any questions because they haven't done anything. Previously it was like that. People had a fear. If we take the injured person to the hospital, the police will inquire us. But right now, you can say the Constitution itself or the Supreme Court itself has given us permission to just help the person first, because there are so many cases where the people don't involve into helping out, and the other one was injured and they died. Slowly they died. There was a very famous incident of a police officer who got injured by some other person, like they have dashed him, or maybe the criminals were there who had shoot at him. He has got a bullet and he has actually got a trouble into his leg, the bullet into the leg, and his leg was profusely bleeding. And he was on the road, he was asking for somebody to help. Just imagine a police officer in a police uniform. But it was on a highway somewhere which is a deserted place, so normally people would not go that sides. So few people, those who have seen, they just simply ran away from the side. They didn't even bother to stop, and some of them have took the pictures, but the others, they didn't even bother to stop and to check it out. Can we help? Or at least once you should get an imagination, the blood which is actually oozing out is the same color we have in our body. So if we help today to someone, we can get help from somebody else. So the police officer died there only because we don't have so much blood in our body. Everybody knows that. If it was profusely bleeding, within half an hour or within 1 hour, he would have died. Just imagine it out, what he was feeling at the last moments. He must be feeling that, he must be reminding himself that how many times I help others, how many times I have done this and that, and nobody is stopping to help me. This is actually, we can say that, inhuman behavior of the people. Very much inhuman. Nowadays people are getting ready to just take the camera and click the pictures and make a video rather than helping the other person. And just imagine it out, these children, they have risked their lives to save the others, and even 2 of them have died. Getting the award after the death, that is a different part. The family would be happy for the award and all, but the award cannot replace the boy, replace the girl who has lost their lives. Right? The parents have lost their children. They didn't get the children back. The awards are there. Maybe they have got a name. They have become an inspiration for the others. So others can try to help the ones, those who are in trouble or those who are in problems. Very few people are those are here in the world, those who are ready to help the others, and you can say, they are ready to not only help, they are ready to risk their lives while helping the others. Very few, they are the gems. And I don't think that in the adults we find more. Children, because they are innocent, they are selfless, they never bother about their own lives. So that's why it happened, that they are ready to sacrifice. So many a times it happened that some people need the help. There is an incident I am remembering right now, that 3 of the young boys have undergone a severe accident because, they drive very fast, because driving fast can give them a thrill, whatever it may be. The thrill can sometimes lead to the hell. Okay, that it is being written everywhere by traffic police, but nobody read, because if they can read, why do they do all these things? So 3 of the boys have actually got a very severe accident, and they were injured very badly. And somehow some people were crossing from that place. It was obviously the highways and the flyovers and the deserted places. In the night somewhere it had happened. So the persons, those who were crossing from that, they stood, they tried to, they make a call to the ambulance and all, and they wanted to make a call to the family members of those 3 injured ones. But what is the tragedy is, when they have taken out their phones, every phone has a security pattern. No phone is getting unlocked. They can't able to find the numbers because the phone is not getting unlocked. They couldn't inform to the family members. And this being, after publishing in the newspaper, very nicely the journalist has written that, what do we are saving from? Like, why do we have that security lock? What are the secret things we are keeping that our lives also cannot be saved? Our family couldn't get the information of our condition because of the security patterns on our phones. So what actually we are hiding for? What are we hiding into our phones? Why we are keeping so many secrets in our life that it is becoming difficult to save the life itself? Where could be the secrets if your life is not there? Secrets are important or life is important? So here they said that, like, They couldn't find out. 3 of the phones were working, but 3 of the phones could not get unlocked. By the time, after 2 days or somewhat, one of them have already died. The 2 out of 2, one was a little bit less injured. So when he got the you can say got the consciousness, he then showed that. Then they have tried to make a call to the family. Just imagine it out, the situation of the family, because going on the highway and dashing it anywhere, we cannot judge it out from which place these people are belonging. Maybe they are nearby, maybe they are far, maybe they are coming. Their vehicle would be there, the vehicle number would be easily recognized. But if suppose it is written TS, can we find out in Telangana state very easily? It's very easy to find out a single home or single person's identity in the whole Telangana. Such a huge population we have. So these are the things that people don't bother. Even if they are ready to help also, there is no support from this side. So these are the things which can make us think for the life, that what is important. What actually do we need in life? Either life or something else. We'd have to decide. Now this particular blog had actually mentioned a story of a little girl and how he tried to help the other one. So the first question was asked as, can you help a drowning person? The drowning person means who is getting drowned into the water. You don't know swimming. You may have the reason. You can justify yourself by saying that I don't know swimming, that's why I didn't save. Without knowing swimming also, you can try to save. How? That could be shown that your will, your spirit is needed. Here is that, this is very nicely asked, that at the times of fear, trauma, sudden shock, how do we behave, that counted. As I said just now, that whenever any accident happens, you must have seen in the movies, in any of the serials, maybe not in the real life, but many of the times it happens that you must have seen the injured person would be there on the road, and it was surrounded by a group of the people who would be talking, what happened, who has dashed, that, this, that, all those things they would discuss it out. But only 1 or 2 persons get immediately the idea that first of all we'll call the ambulance and shift this person. He is still alive. Come on, make a call to the police. Only 1 or 2 persons you can find in overall the whole crowd. Those people are the ones, those whose senses would work at the time when they got all the emotions under their control. At the times when emotions are getting out of control, there is a need to control them and to start responding immediately. The persons, those who are standing there, they are just giving the reactions. Okay, what happened, now alive or not and all. But the ones, those who are immediately making either a call to the ambulance or informing the police, those are the ones, those who are responding. Respond instead of reacting. There is a need to understand that situation. So how do we behave when we get shock, trauma or sudden fear? It is being shown very nicely that if somehow you'll get especially for the girls, it is actually you can say topic of jokes, that whenever they see a cockroach or a lizard, they start screaming it out. 90% girls scream out, but that is not the actual fear. When you are among all the people and you are screaming, that doesn't mean that you have the fear. When real fear attacks you, you can't able to shout. With the shock, your vocal cord could stop giving out any noise. You can't able to make out a single sound. You can't scream. Forget about screaming. You cannot even make out a single noise. That is the fear. This is not among all the people. You know that anyways lizard and cockroach will go away. You know already. Mind is completely made up. Then at that time, that is not because of the fear. It's a habitual screaming. One is screaming, so the other will be screaming. But I have found many of the girls, those who sat very nicely without making a noise, and they knew that, yeah, of course, this is one of the animal, it goes. What's a big deal? This is insect, cockroach is insect, it goes. What's a big deal? Really, I have seen many of the students, I really appreciate them because they know nothing will happen among all these. When you are all alone and suppose something had happened like that, you immediately start thinking how to defend you, how to kill that, how to kill the cockroach or how to defend yourself. Either you want to close the door or you want to go somewhere where you cannot get the cockroach, or you would try to kill the cockroach. That is your response which is needed. So during the fear, during the tension, how do we behave? That shows us how much mature we are and how much we are courageous, how much bravery we have in ourselves. Here this story is about Peta Lynn. This is the name of a girl who is 12 years old, and she was actually studying in boarding. Her parents had been shifted to a place known as Darwin, and she was studying in boarding school, which is in the other place. And in 1981 actually she returned to Darwin, the place where the parents are there, and she wanted to go to a drive and at the countryside. Countryside means like you can imagine out the village or in the forest side areas where the buildings are not there, only deserted places, and they want to see the animals. And also she wanted to go over there. She was just only 12 years old, and there was a guardian for her. That guardian was the father's younger friend. He was a friend of father, and his name was Hilton Graham, 23 years old. She is 12 years and he is 23 years, and he always look after her whenever she is in the boarding, because her boarding school and the place where he was studying was close to each other. So father has given the responsibility to that person to check it out whether the girl needs anything or something. So he always helped the girl, and he is the one who taught this Peta Lynn how to drive a car or a truck, anything, how to drive a car, especially the four-wheeler, how to drive a four-wheeler at the age of 8 years. When she was just 8 years old, he taught him, Hilton has taught her how to drive that, and she has learned very quickly. So he was actually responsible for making her more you can say mature, understanding. So at the age of 12 she has a, like you can say, longing or desire to go for the countryside to see the animals, like safari, live animals she wanted to see, and both of them have a liking for the animals. And Hilton has said that we will do one thing. Now these are the holidays and you came here for your home, and his home was also there at the Darwin. So he said we both are here, so we'll enjoy our holiday by shooting the pig and make it a barbecue. And how many kilometers it is far away, the place where they wanted to shoot the pig? It is 20 kilometers from their home. It was countryside, and it is actually a little bit island type, which is separated. Island surrounded by water from all the four sides, but a minor, you can say, minor strip of the land is connected to the other side. So they wanted to go to that particular island to enjoy and to shoot the pig. They have taken one airboat, Hilton and Peta Lynn. They have taken one airboat and they started going into the dense forest. You can get the photo of a airboat on Google easily. You can find it out to get an imagination. So they started going into the airboat, and when slowly they entered into the dense forest, it becomes very weird for Peta, because she is too young and she was getting a feeling of silence, overall silence, and even if she is talking a little bit in a normal voice also, it was looking very loud. So she started whispering. she started whispering to ask Hilton how much far it is, where it is, and they are getting the animals in between the place. Like the view of the animals is very clear to them. They can able to see many animals. They are on the airboat and the animals are surrounding here and there other places. So they are going from how much far? 20 kilometers from their home. Now in the dense forest they reach by the time 5:30 p.m. You can imagine it at 5:30 p.m. that too in a forest means it looks very much like night time and very like a tensed situation. It was looking not too good for them, but they wanted to enjoy and they don't have a fear of that place or you can say the animals. Because Hilton has a rifle, a big rifle he has, and he slung it into his body, like that half of the side he has put that, and he was ready to use the rifle because from nearby they cannot shoot the animals, they have to shoot from a long distance. So he was ready with that. The area was swamp, marshy area, wet, damp, where muddy and damp area, where if you keep your one foot you cannot able to actually release the foot very easily. You need somebody's help to come out. It was a swampy and marshy area, obviously near the water, and in the island continuous rain and all make the soil in such a way only. It was the whole wet and marshy area. So big, but they wanted to go and find it out. So they have kept their truck at a place like 2 kilometers somewhere far from the place. They stopped there because the overall place is very like they have all the mountains, hill areas and big rocks and all. So it is difficult for them. It was not a road, proper road. So it was difficult to drive the truck. They gone into the truck and they kept the truck over there. Then they have taken the airboat, and from their airboat they started moving into the water to the other place to reach to the other shore of the island where they wanted to go and shoot the pig. Actually they have gone into the truck on the road. Then from Darwin 20 kilometers they couldn't go by walk, right? So 20 kilometers they traveled by truck, their own truck they had, and from there they have to walk a little bit. After walking they took one airboat, and from there they have started their journey to find out variety of the animals, and their main aim was to shoot the pig to get it barbecue. And this was the plan was made by both of them. So both of them were very eager to find out their you can say find out their prey animal which they wanted to kill, and they wanted to enjoy the holiday. But every time whatever we decide never happens. Fate has some different things stored for us. So what had happened to them while they have gone for an adventure, and how adventure has changed into something else, we'll discuss it out in the next class. By the time, don't forget it out. Read the whole lesson, whole story after the complete explanation, so you can understand very easily. So now we'll stop it here, and in the next class we'll continue the explanation. By the time, take care.